Hello everyone, welcome to rawlesims, it's me Rawles, and we are back with more Seduce Me. So, last episode, it was finally time for the friggin' house party of so much discussion and whatnot, and Mika put on a fancy dress, and everybody was like, oh my god, you look so beautiful, and her father actually complimented her. Also, her parents and her friends met the incubi and all seemed to be pretty cool with, like, some weird story about how they were servants that came with the house. So, moving on. However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked at the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden, the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
Let's say I'm doing my best.
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Thank you for your condolences.
Do you have college plans?
Let's just say, yes, I do. I felt like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me. They were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
Let's see. You get back on track.
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
That is not how you say that. Philanthropic voice actor who voiced Guest. Up to me, thirsty. I'm thirsty. I don't think it's okay. It's a policy that reflects my own values. So I personally think it's great.
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
It's a toy company. Eventually the questions stopped, and I was back to being myself. Naomi and Susie were mingling in the crowds, and the incubi were doing their jobs. So I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
So any bets on whether he is a suspiciously young bishonen? Haha! With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
As I placed my hand in his, he raised it to his lips and kissed over my knuckles. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand. Jesus, how many romance options does this chick have?
I'm honored to be invited here.
My mother smiled at both of us. which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew? I think that should be pretty obvious, honey.
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Say nothing.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Oh, wow, I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well,
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO? I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. And who could blame him? You want to follow him or say, we can follow him because the less time we spend with her dad, the better, frankly. I quickly followed Andrew, wanting to be sure he was all right. I felt a little embarrassed that my dad put him on the spot like that. I had to apologize. We wound up outside. The stars practically danced on the grass as we stood in the backyard of the mansion. It had been my first time in years being out there, but my thoughts weren't on the nostalgia. Hey, Andrew? Andrew turned to me in surprise. However, his face was completely red in both embarrassment and humiliation. I felt terrible.
Oh, I didn't see you or hear you following. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I should be the one to apologize. My dad's a complete douche nozzle.
What for? You didn't do anything wrong.
I just said her dad's a douche nozzle. To be true, it's not her fault. I mean, for the way my dad behaved. He shouldn't have been so...
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, I should have expected it and been more prepared.
Andrew rubbed the back of his neck and gave a goofy grin. It was intriguing, seeing Andrew's professional side and seeing a goofy smile away from everyone. Still, I'm sorry for that.
It's not a problem, really, but thank you.
We both smiled at each other before I reached my hand out to him. He tilted his head and raised an eyebrow in confusion. Mika. My name is Mika. In understanding, his smile returned, for he took my hand gently and shook it. Oh, we got a change of picture here. Significant.
That's a pretty name. I'm happy to know it now.
Nah, it's not that nice.
I have to disagree with you. It's much better than Andrew. I mean, who names their kid Andrew?
That's a pretty normal name. I mean, pretty, standard Anglo-Saxon business there, but okay. A lot of people do.
But how about Axel or Ace? Something cool like that.
Those are the stupidest names I've ever heard. I couldn't help but laugh at him. He was pretty chill for a guy who was supposed to be a vice chairman's son. He grinned and laughed along with me. I don't know why, but I felt warm. Whether it was the almost non-existent breeze or the situation we found ourselves in, it felt nice.
Lewis.
And just like that, the feeling had vanished. We both turned to see my dad at the doors of the mansion, staring at Andrew with almost a deadly glare. Andrew straightened up, trying to maintain a business posture.
Yes, sir?
Your limo is in the front. The driver has requested that you return home. Now.
Oh, all right. Thank you, sir.
Andrew quickly nodded to me before speeding back into the mansion to leave. As I took a step to follow, my dad stepped in front of me. Oh, Lord. Dad?
I don't want to hear it. Do not become friendly with him. He wants to take the company away from us. You have no reason to be friends with him.
Before I could retort, my dad turned away and walked back inside, muttering about how the party was nearing an end. I sighed and entered the house as well, wanting for the party to end immediately. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, my parents, and the incubi were left, so that we didn't have to draw any more art for any other characters. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh, thank you, Dad.
Keep it up, and you'll be a good CEO.
Oh, right.
All right. Your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Look, old man, she's 18. She lives on her own. She can stay up as late as she wants. Oh, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party. We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Right. See ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do. All four of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted. Whew. That was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
Thank you, Matthew.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, Princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Oh, shut up, Sam.
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
Uh-oh. I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked, alongside the incubi. James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
All of us shot our head towards the doors, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. Okay, but where else would the voice have been coming from, if not the doors, which are like, you're standing like right in front of them, whatever. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would have never expected to see. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be laughing at this horrifying, monstrous visage before us. Okay. Let me get it together. To the drama of the moment. Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold and piercing into mine, roughened up clothes, and a pistol in his hand. I saw a monster. I covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck as he smirked at me and the boys around me. Beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman in matching thug-like clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
All of a sudden, The man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face, but...
What the fuck?
What?
Which should have been a headshot, ended with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed its empty shots as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
A gun is hellborn magic? Okay, I'll go with it.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Ah!
This dude's about to rage quit. The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flame that disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
How convenient. Guess Grandpa has some secrets, huh? Malix. That was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malix did. This place is protected by... magic?
It would seem that your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around this house. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Malix's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fist tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball. That's really not intimidating. That's a pretty non-intimidating metaphor there.
Then what's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malix and the boys. With no power, Malix wasn't going to fight. I took that chance to stand up to him, instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. We're gonna say a nice fuck off here. Malix suddenly laughed wildly, staring at me in disbelief.
Whoa! Who let the bitch out of her cage? What is this? A reverse harem or something?
Well, yeah, obviously, this is a reverse harem game, so yeah, you're pretty on target there. Malix grinned at me evilly, walking close to me. Duck, run, what? I can't. I didn't even pick anything. All of a sudden, I felt a hand grip my hair and pull it back, forcing me to cry out and stare up at Malix. His eyes bored into mine as he cackled in my face.
Hey, let her go! Sam, Eric!
Within mere seconds, Sam had punched Malix square in the jaw, forcing him to let my hair go. As I fumbled back, Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Malix and back into their group.
Come on, Sam. You and me. Right here. Let's go!
Come on, asswipe!
I just realized he literally has a little skull t-shirt on. Oh my god. He's like the least intimidating evil demon villain that I've ever seen in my life. However, before both could fight, the woman stepped forward and placed a firm grip on Malix's shoulder.
That's enough, Malix.
What? Who do you think you're speaking to, woman?
The girl who's going to help you kill them. Just not now.
Not now?
I stared as the girl spoke down at Malix. She looked the same, just like pure evil. However, she seemed to be concerned for Malix. Or for me.
There's 5 of them, and 2 of us. Even if we come back with the gang, they can have the place surrounded by human police.
Then we shoot everyone!
This dude has a one-track mind, huh?
Think! If we shoot everyone, we'll be hunted. And it'll be a matter of time before makeshift paladins come and try to exorcise us.
The two growled at each other. If they could have used their magic, I could sense that fire would glow from under their teeth. Malix grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his fingers like a knife.
Just wait, pretty boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
Somebody is having way too much fun voicing this weirdo. Then Malix turned to me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
And don't think you're safe. Step outside. I dare you.
With that, Malix and the woman walked out of the mansion. The doors closed behind them, leaving the boys and I alone once again. And we're going to end it there for today. So there was the rather over-the-top and yet completely not at all threatening Malix and his mystery woman. So yeah, let me know what you think of this development in hot topic level evil coming after our heroine. And please be sure to leave me a like, and I will see you guys in the next part of whatever I make. Bye-bye!